Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you again so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Happy and wonderful Saturday or weekend to you. This is basically just a weekend analysis because I don't really do much on Sundays. That's my one day off, so I'll figure I'd jump in here on a Saturday, see what's going on as per usual. Today is my 6th Friday of this week. So take a look at SUI. Let's double check. We're at 101. We have this bull flag type of pattern kind of sort of forming. It's been hit or miss. Jumping above, I actually got an early breakout with a potential retracement there. A lot of that hinges on the fact that Bitcoin hit its top and is pulling back now. So we can presume, based on the last 24 hours, that SUI is not done pulling back, based on the simple fact that I feel Bitcoin will continue a little bit lower. That's just my personal opinion based on the overall macro. We got a lot of confluence at 59,000, 58.5 for Bitcoin. Solid area of consideration for another long. Between now and then, we want to be kind of respectful for SUI and see what's going on. Okay, so again, congrats and awesome feedback here. Thanks again for my community. Good 42% from Bitcoin, and take a look at this here. SUI 85%. Again, those were trades taken a few days ago, but more important, they were trades taken with confirmation and things that you just want to make sure that you pay attention to. And I guess to make it simple, just the more you wait, the better off you're going to be as a trader. I know it seems crazy. You're going to miss a lot of opportunities. It's totally a thing. But if you can fight FOMO somehow, it feels a lot better to take trades that are pretty awesome. Okay, so is it worth taking a trade right now? Well, the question is tough to answer because we want the price to pull back, but it may not. However, history repeats itself. It probably will. Let's talk about that. More importantly, looking at the liquidation levels, let's just go ahead and do this here first. Quickly to clarify, there's some late shorts here, of course, between 108 and 115. As that continues to grow, the more likely we are to see that swept. Keep in mind, there's definitely some concentrations in the 80 to 90 cent range, or 80 to 85 cent range, rather. I'm paraphrasing, but generally speaking, you're going to find those areas at just below local lows, right? So we can see this 87, 80 cent range, local low. We've got a ton of liquidation at 74 cents or below. Honestly, if we invalidate and close below 86 cents, then we can have that conversation. Between now and then, that's nothing to worry about. What is to worry about is if you're shorting this coin, you want to be very careful because, again, there's 108 to 115, a lot of liquidation. Each one of these bars is about 600 million. So what, 612, 18, 24, like we got maybe somewhere in the range of about $3 billion in liquidation in the upper range. Okay, so keep in mind that's a pretty heavy concentration, right? Liquidation 3 billion plus. All right, so that's what that's for, to help us understand the incentive for the whales. Now, just because that exists doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it does provide us with a slight inclination, helping us to understand that maybe shorting this coin isn't the greatest idea. Once more, that's just based on bullish continuation factors. So let's take a look here, see if those still exist. First of all, we're still above 50 on the RSI. Check number one, that's generally a good sign. We are seeing the money flow down, which is normal, very standard. That would be a consideration for short, just from a macro perspective, saying, hey, money's flowing away from this coin. There's a reason for it, likely because we've hit our top. Okay, a lot of that is mainly because Bitcoin hit its top though too, right? We got to recognize that. I think SUI would probably be 110 to 115 or higher right now if Bitcoin was in the 61, 62K range. We don't always get what we want, but that's essentially a real thing. Having said that, we can see that our TSI is dropping down below zero, MACD is diverging. There's a lot of momentum indicators here letting us know that further downside is probable. So I feel like we're still going to see lower price action. Again, a lot of that hinges on the fact that I feel like we're going to maybe ABC our way down to 58.5, 57.5 as a possible reality. I did post a very solid update in our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. No, correction, sorry. In our trade alert section here for our community. Just kind of giving you a heads up on what I think about that. Make sure you check that out, of course, if you're part of our Discord. But the whole point of me clarifying that, making sure you understand that, is that SUI is aligned itself in the last 24 hours specifically with Bitcoin, which leads me to believe that we're going to see a further downside for SUI. That in combination with our fair value gap here on the 4-hour time frame, this comes as low as 93.5, or just say 94 cents is a round number. The distinct probability we're going to do one of these here, boop, 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 and then the price shoots up. Sorry, I misclicked there. But you can kind of see that's generally what we're looking for here, right? A fill of the fair value gap with a consideration for entry around 97. That's my thought process so far. Will that change between now and then? Absolutely. This is a weekend, right? What do you expect? Take a look here though. 97 cents is kind of like where I have this alert set loosely, just to reevaluate and see what happens, because again, our local high should work as a new low moving forward. That's the general concept. Okay, so take a look here down below. I see on the 4-hour time frame, roughly a similar scenario here. We've got divergence. Everything's kind of coming down. So in the overall sense, we're not in a great situation here. Okay, And we do take a look here, first of all, to clarify. Let's go back. I forgot to cover the simple moving averages. We're still below the 200-day SMA, but we're above all other important ones, right? So just to clarify from a macro perspective, I think I kind of skipped over this earlier. The simple way to understand is that we're above all moving averages. We're honoring our ascending trend line. There's no real reason to consider shorting this coin. Okay? Again, that's a good preface, so you understand the macro is still very, very strong. I jumped right on the 4-hour. Typically, I do the daily first. Sorry about that. But the truth is the macro has a lot of strength and a lot of reasons why this coin is more likely to increase than decrease. So I just want to kind of get that out there, let you know. We have our local point of control at about 83.5 cents. That's an extreme worst case scenario. I really think our local high at about 97 cents should hold as a new low if we get down there. A lot of the emphasis is on if, right? But the truth is the 4-hour time frame is giving us an indications that we're trending towards that. However, we're still above all moving averages. Until that shifts and that changes, then we can presume the price will go up. Right, so no, it's kind of a catch-22, right? It's kind of difficult. In situations like this, I don't really like trading coins that have these kind of conflicting factors. We're in that like transition right now where strong coins like SUI, their macro looks phenomenal. But we're starting to see some kinks in the chain, or cracks in the glass, that's probably a better term, on the 4-hour time frame, telling us, hey, this shift in momentum, we haven't truly got our breakout yet. We may actually see further downside. You want to be careful trading this coin. It's kind of giving us those inclinations. Okay. That being said, let's see what the hourly tells us here. This does show that we're in a bit of a mess. In other words, lagging span is now below the price action. We're within the cloud, so not a consideration to take a trade. And then on top of that, our conversion line is below the baseline, so we lost momentum. So even though, yes, we have established a higher high here, that was potentially just an extra last little short stop, basically just stopping out anyone who's trying to take any shorts. And then of course we got the price pulling back here. If we get below the cloud, then there's a solid chance we'll see further continuation. So what we're going to be looking for here is to see how the price action responds this weekend, and then on Monday make an informed decision. Okay, I don't think it's worth taking a trade right now just based on what I see here so far. I know there's a lot of FOMO associated with this coin. I get it. This coin has been very strong, but just the fact that it's aligning itself specifically with Bitcoin last 24 hours, maybe even 2x to the downside of Bitcoin, that doesn't make me feel very good. Okay, so I'm going to reevaluate at 97 cents if we get there. And obviously if we don't, then we'll touch on Monday and see what's going on. So again, just situations like this occur, folks. I'm sorry, it's not really what you're looking for, what you want. The truth is the macro is still bullish, so I think no matter where you get in, you're probably going to find more luck or benefit to the upside moving forward. Okay, there's more incentive for the price to go up than down. But right now, from a micro perspective or a smaller time frame perspective, we're seeing those shifts in momentum, and the likelihood of the price pulling back between now and wherever the bottom is greater. Yeah, that's just kind of what I see here so far. So I don't really trust SUI for the moment, and I'm sorry if you do or you feel otherwise. Actually, if you do, that's great. Why don't you comment below? Let me know what you're thinking. Love to hear it. I always like to hear other thoughts, even if they're not the same as mine. But generally speaking, yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So I'll stop going in circles with our conversation. I deeply appreciate you watching. Make sure you check out, again, BTCC, link down below for these guys. Awesome exchange, great option outside of Bitunix, because you always want to have more than one portfolio, and if you're going to be day trading and swing trading, you should diversify the two. So just kind of throwing it out there. The awesome exchange, check them out, link down below if you're curious. Otherwise, hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks again so much for your time. We'll see you the next one. Take care.